think you know all that Boise and the Treasure Valley has to offer? I bet there are at least a few local secrets on my list of 21 activities that may surprise you, but let's see how many you already know. About an hour west of Boise in the city of Parma is the Parma Motor View. It's a drive-in movie theater open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, showing 2 movies a night. I mean, honestly, when was the last time you went to a drive-in movie? It's been a while, right? So they've got a snack bar serving hot dogs and hamburgers and pizza, drinks, and of course, a large assortment of candy. And this place has been a Valley staple since 1953. This next option for Bogus Basin really counts as 2, since it's an all-season kind of attraction because it's a ski resort. Locals are up there throughout the ski season, and they have night skiing too, which just seems really cold to me, but it is a huge hit. Then during the summer season, Bogus Basin has its Glade Runner mountain coaster going, only mountain coaster in Idaho. Who doesn't want to scream their head off while twisting and turning through a forest of trees and unbeatable views? While you're up here for the coaster, you might as well do a challenging rope course or go mountain biking or scale their rock wall. As a side note, during the summer, Bogus is probably a 20-minute drive from downtown Boise, but during the winter, because of the twists and turns and road conditions, it can take an hour. So once again, this is a twofer. There's so many activities in McCall that I could probably create a list of 21 things to do just in McCall itself, but people day trip up here all the time. Although more commonly, they'll probably go up for a weekend so they could take advantage of all of the activities or some of the activities here. McCall is about 90 miles north of Boise at an elevation of 5,000 feet, and you'll find Payette Lake for boating, kayaking, or ice fishing, something again for all seasons, or the Brokerage ski mountain for your winter activities. I have a couple videos specifically about McCall, so for more details on this area, this beautiful mountain town, I would definitely check those out. And the Shore Lodge, which is literally on the shore of Payette Lake, is a super popular destination where you can eat, stay, recreate. I mean, there's just so much to do here regardless of the season. Another day trip from Boise would be heading east to Craters of the Moon National Monument. Here you'll experience something kind of out of a Star Wars movie where there are fields of volcanic rock that you can explore. It's like a 7-mile loop as you drive along. You can make stops and hike the fields or explore a cave or tour a cavern. There are a number of trails with varying difficulty levels so everyone could find something to do. There are a number of hot springs within a short drive from Boise. So if soaking in nature's hot tub sounds like fun, you'll want to visit maybe the Springs or Rocky Canyon or Pine Flats or Kirkham. And that's just to name a few. There really are so many hot springs to visit. Some require reservations and some you just show up and hike in. So I'd research if there is a specific one you want to visit, or if you were weekending somewhere and you want to tack it onto your visit, then you can look up some of the hot springs that are specific to that area. This next one is a must, whether you are new to the Treasure Valley or are just visiting during the summer months. It's like a rite of passage to float the Boise River, and it's a very organized activity. Well, more like organized chaos, I guess. I mean, I'm not really sure how organized a bunch of random people floating randomly down the river can be, but Parks and Recreation does have a specific season for it. And there is a website, floattheboise.org, that keeps you up to date on hazards that can creep up during the float season. So you can park your car at Ann Morrison or Barber Park and then grab a shuttle back to your car after you float. And if you aren't bringing your own floats, that's okay. Then you can rent them at Barber Park. So comment below if you've floated the Boise River. If you haven't, would you float it? So let's stay local for a bit with the Idaho Botanical Park. It would probably take 60 to 90 minutes to walk through the gardens at a leisurely pace. So during the holidays, they light it all up with Christmas light displays and carolers and Santa. They host concert series here during the summer with a variety of food vendors and local musical acts. And then they host other farm-to-table garden experiences. Then larger artists come to play the Outlaw Field. This summer we have Nora Jones, Blues Travelers, John Baptiste. Oh, and you can also find gardening classes available here too, so if you want to try your hand at being a green thumb. Next to the Idaho Botanical Garden, you'll find the Old Idaho Penitentiary, a super fun historical site to tour with your family and your kids. They host tours year-round, but you can also take advantage of self-guided tours as well. And just like its neighboring botanical gardens, the penitentiary hosts different events like a summer scavenger hunt or yoga in the yard. And over Halloween, they will have haunted tours, definitely a variety of activities so that you could go back multiple times and experience something new each time. If you're new to my channel, my name is Erica Toffel, Global Real Estate Advisor with Group 1 Sotheby's International Realty. I specialize in helping you relocate to Boise, Idaho, and in doing so, I give you a glimpse into what life is like here as a local. If you need help with any of your real estate needs, my information is on the screen. And please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Or scan the QR code if you are watching on your television to contact me directly. Earlier I mentioned Ann Morrison Park as a good spot for floating the Boise River, but it's also known as the annual host for the Spirit of Boise Balloon Classic. This is one of those events that you have to witness in person to really understand its magnitude. But there are dozens of hot air balloons soaring through the Boise skies, all departing from the park. And then at night they ground them, but light them up for a Night Aglow event. This takes place in late August, early September. Honestly, you will see balloons flying across the valley on any given day in late summer. Did you know you can go surfing in landlocked Boise? The Boise Whitewater Park allows you to surf and kayak a diversion dam with a wave shaper. They are able to create different waves for either sport, and there are scheduled times depending on which sport you participate in. So let's continue with water sports, but this time we'll bring out the big toys. Like, let's grab our boats, our jet skis, and head to one of the local bodies of water to water ski, wakeboard, jet ski. In Boise, you can play at Lucky Peak Lake. In Nampa, there is Lake Lowell, and in Emmett, you have Black Canyon Reservoir. So it gives you a variety to choose from. For us, Black Canyon is the one we go to most often because it's the closest to where we live. And it tends to be a little less crowded than the others, but it's also probably the narrowest body of water. We have our own little version of wine country. In town, we have a number of local wine rooms that carry their own labels like Split Rail or Talea. But we also have vineyards where you can go and enjoy a wine tour and relax out on the patio for wine tasting and charcuterie boards. Sunny Slope Wine Trail includes 20 wineries, mostly in Caldwell, but extending to Kuna and Wilder and Parma. Then you can find Three Horse Ranch Vineyard and Do DeWalt Cellars in Eagle. My point is, if wine is your thing, you can find it here. I mentioned mountain biking if you drove up to McCall or if you were at Bogus Basin, but you don't have to drive far in order to enjoy mountain biking. The Eagle Bike Park has over 200 acres of varying degrees of mountain bike trails. But then if you start here, the trail system connects to Ridge to River Trail System, which winds throughout the Boise foothills. So this really probably becomes even less about the Eagle Bike Park itself and more about mountain biking throughout Boise, because there are so many options and trail systems that if you are a mountain bike enthusiast at all, Boise is totally your playground. But going back to the Eagle Bike Park, it also has a free ride jump, a pump track, slalom courses, a BMX track, so it is for the avid biker. If cars are your jam and you're into racing them, or at least watching them race, then we've got the Firebird Raceway in Eagle, Idaho, and then the Meridian Speedway in Meridian. All summer long, they have events on Fridays and Saturday nights with races featuring a variety of different types of vehicles, and Meridian Speedway really kicks into gear in spring once the track warms up. And one of the best events is the Eve of Destruction race, which is really just pure chaos on the raceway with motorhomes pulling boats and racing and weaving. It's a total mess, but so much fun. So have any of these activities sparked interest so far? Tell me in the comments below. Heading back out of Boise for a day trip, you might travel 120 miles east to Shoshone Falls. It's in Twin Falls. It's considered the Niagara Falls of the West, and it's pretty darn impressive. Spring is probably the best time to visit because as the snow melts, the falls will be at their peak flow. During summer, some of the water is diverted for irrigation, and by fall, the majority of the flow is held to refill the reservoir systems. There are many ways to explore the falls, like guided kayak tours or guided hikes, but you do have the freedom of just parking and walking to the best vantage point. Maybe then on your way back from Shoshone Falls, you'll also want to hit Brunei Dune State Park and play on the sand dunes for a bit. It's an hour east of Boise, just south of Mountain Home. The state park does have one of the longest running camping seasons of any park in Idaho, starts in March and runs through October. So you have plenty of time to enjoy throughout various seasons. They have equestrian facilities so you can bring your horse to ride the area. And then obviously there are sand dunes. In fact, the tallest single structure dune in North America is here. So you can try your hand at sandboarding if you want, and they do have rentals on site. There are lakes to fish and an observatory to take in the night sky. If you come to Idaho in the right season or you live here, then you can take advantage of picking berries and mushrooms. So morels are a type of mushroom that are considered a gourmet ingredient because of their flavor. And then, well, huckleberries are the state fruit and found in just about anything, from ice creams to salads to vodkas. But before you head out to pick your own food from the ground, please do research on what you're actually foraging for and what you should be looking for. This can be a super fun activity to do with your family, but again, education is paramount. Know the season, know the right areas to forage, and what a morel or huckleberry look like. And you knew I had to add something in here about home shopping with me, right? It's fun, it's personal to you, and there is so much to explore when it comes to Boise real estate that you could spend the entire day and not look at two similar areas or properties. And what I love is either introducing locals to something they hadn't known about the area before, or vice versa. Tell me a new restaurant to try, a new adventure to experience. One of Boise's most beloved attractions is the Boise River Greenbelt. 25 miles of pathways along the river that take you from the east end of town near Lecky Peak into west into the city of Eagle. People bike it, they head out for a leisurely stroll. It's a great place to bird watch. You can use access points along the Greenbelt to fish the river. But there are just so many cool spots scattered along the Greenbelt, from grabbing coffee and breakfast to stopping by parks and ponds along the way to grabbing a glass of wine at a winery or a pint at a brewery. There are restaurants, museums, nature centers that you can all visit while you're out on your Greenbelt adventure, which is why I think the Greenbelt truly embodies the local Boise, Idaho experience. Always adventure to be had, but in a totally laid-back atmosphere. For more videos about Boise, Idaho, or real estate in general, click on one of the other videos on the screen. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.